Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. We're going to do a project today. I created this neat folder slash kind of journal-y thing, and I thought I would do another one, and we could do one together, and I'll give you the dimensions. Let me fold it back up so I can show you what it looks like from the front. So what we have is, here's the outside, okay, and I've made some pockets. I've tucked into the pockets. I've used this beautiful Bow Bunny paper, and but we're going to use a different cardstock today because I didn't want two of the same. But whatever you guys have, you can use, and it's cardstock that's been doubled. It's nice and heavyweight, so the folder is very secure. And what I did is I tucked into all of the pockets, and well, as we get in, I'll show you. But I put some of these beautiful envelopes that I did a video on last time. So I'm making use of these in here, and these are the coin envelopes that I gave you all the different sizes to, 6 different sized envelopes, and this is the large one. This one's been wet embossed, and I did do a video on how to achieve this look, as well as the wax one, the one that's waxed. And then I also had done a video on this, but I think I'm going to do another one where you just take 2 index cards. Actually, I think there's 3 in this. So the dollar store index cards, and make window pockets out of them. And they're great little tuck spots. So I tucked one of those in there. And I'll probably do another video because it was probably about 3 months ago or longer, maybe 4 or 5 months ago that I did that video. Now, how this works is, here it is from the front, and you don't even need a closure, okay? And here's the back. I did do a pocket, and we're gonna recreate that, and I'll show you how we did that. Here's one of those envelopes that has the waxy coating on it, in a simple way to wax. And also I think this is velcroed down. And then this is another envelope, so there's a lot of room for storage in this neat folder slash journal thingy. I don't even know what you call it. I just thought, well, I want to create something different. So this has an eyelet in it, and it's another one of those coin envelopes. I think this is the small size. And let's go in and I'll show you how this works. So it folds out here, and it folds out here as well. Okay, so let's start with the front fold. What I did is I made this pretty, I distressed all the edges of this, and I'm going to show you how I distress the edges. I'm talking like a rip distress with either scissors or a distressing tool, and I'll show you both, give you both options. And here we have a tablet of this neat paper that I shared. That's all that vintagey looking paper that I just tore down to get a nice distressed look on the edges. And then use pieces of this embossed craft cardstock and secured that on there. Also in here, this is a velcroed pocket. One of my embellished paper clips that I did do a video on. It's got a little pocket in it. So that's just on there. This is velcroed, and in here there's another little scrappy tablet here, so there's all kinds of writing room. So this is kind of like a journal I used to create, well, I'm going to go back to it, and these desk sets that were a 3-part desk set. One of them was a loaded folder similar to this, and then with the matching journal, and then a matching large journal. So I've sold a lot of those on Etsy, and I was going to create another one, but I thought, you know what, let's do something that's a little less complicated. And I just made this little journaling tag here, and that's tucked in there, another one of those coin envelopes. So there's all kinds of room for storage. And then here we have a removable paper bundle with bags and different things in it, and I'm going to show you how I did that, where there's a little notch here and a little notch there so that you can replace your papers. So I have a doily here. These are just a variety of coffee dyed papers, an envelope, one of the bags that I make out of tissue paper, where I am going to do a video on these, how I make a variety of different types of bags out of this, and with layering also the baking paper. We have a vellum envelope. See, these can just pull right out, okay? And then you can just slip your own papers right. Here's a cute little tag I made here, and this is just baking paper I made a sack out of, and so everything just slips in and out of here. And here's the other side. Here's an envelope, the other part of that bag, then the doily. Then this again is flipped in here, and it might look complicated, but it will be. I'm going to show you step by step, and it really is not that hard. Okay, so here again we have a little velcroed, with these little mini velcroed, little pocket folder here with plenty of vintagey scrappy tablet here. And then I just made like a little tag here that just flips over with that pretty bronzy color large grommet in there, and so I just put that there like that. Okay, and this just velcros down, and as you could see, it's just a notched pocket, and that's there. And in here I made a tag out of the cutoff of that pretty bow bunny paper, and this. So, and over here is another large tablet of all this beautiful writing paper. Okay, so if you like this idea, we're going to create a similar type little project now. Let's put that there. Let me put this aside, and I'll show you the papers. And then also, while I'm sharing this, I'm going to, I think I have about 20 more subscribers to reach 600. And you know, I took about 3 months off. So I'm back, and I did do a giveaway at, I think, 200, and again at 400, and we're reaching 600, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for that, because I've got some nice prizes lined up for the giveaway. And I will be on probably tomorrow with that info. Okay, so I got these papers, and I think these came out of a die cuts with a view, but they were loose in my paper stack, so I can't tell you 100%. But I love the color. It's a cream and a dusty blue color. And then I went in and found some coordinating papers, and actually these are from a couple different sets, and these are all like a muted dusty blue with creams. And so I have these, and we'll probably be using these somewhere in there. But what I've done is I've cut down for the cover. This is 9 inches, okay? And it's 9 inches. So basically what I did is this is a full 12 by 12 piece of paper, okay, cardstock. And I cut it down, I just cut it down to 9 inches. And that will be, let me pull that book back out, or that folder. That will be the size of the folder, the length. And we'll get into the width in a minute because I'm going to create a spine, you know, where you can attach your paper to. Yeah, so this is 9 inches long, and it ends up being 5.5 inches wide this way, and it's a 1 inch spine. So you only cut the paper in one way, so this should be 12. Yeah, this is 12 inches this way. So you only have to, and here's our offcuts, and these are going to be the pockets. So I'm going to sit down. Let me get my my paper to ink on, so I don't destroy my desk pad. All right, so now we want to, I'm going to sew these, but we're also going to distress. So this will probably be a 2-part video, and we'll get as far as we can today. But I'm going to show you how I distress the edges. I will sew off camera, but we will glue and do all of the other things in making the cover of this folder thingy today. I want this on the cover on one side, and this will be the inside. So what I did is I just, since this isn't double-sided cardstock, I'm just going to glue these with just this glue stick, because we are going to go around and sew it. But if you don't sew or don't want to be bothered with sewing, just use a better, you know, a more secure glue. Though this does hold pretty good, but this is very heavy cardstock. So this is just going to actually tack it together till I can get to the machine later. And this one is the Elmer's Extreme, okay? So what I've decided that would be neat is this will be the front cover, okay? And then the back cover I want coordinating, so we're gonna flip it this way. So they're still gonna be glued together this way, okay? And this will be the front cover, and then we're gonna overlap these to have a nice 1 inch, a nice heavy, so it'll be 4 weights of cardstock, and these will be overlapped together here. Okay, so let's get into that so you can better understand what I'm saying, because I'm not a teacher. So I'm just trying to share a project. So I hope you guys can follow me. All right, we're just going to, and let me move this for a minute. Well, that's okay. By the way, guys, this is just the back of a 12 by 12 paper pad. And I like to use it to, because it's large, where I can just glue and stamp on it. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on the end, and then we're gonna line these up, and this will be the top, this will be the bottom. I mean, you could go this way with this, but I think it kind of goes this way. Doesn't matter really, but all right, so let's line the ends up of that. Let me just flip it over to make sure this is lined up. All right, and then we'll work our way down with the glue stick. Rather than gluing the whole thing, it gets sticky and sometimes you can't really line it up. So I kind of just work my way down so it lines up good. Here, let's get some light, more light. I have the overhead lights on and it's a little cloudy out there today, so we want to be able to see. Okay. We'll just work our way all the way down. And for you guys that are new subscribers and just subscribed since I've been back from my long illness, and all my subscribers, thank you so much for watching. And I really want to put some nice content on this channel and share with you, you know, some of my projects if you're interested in, you know, making things. Okay, let's do the other thing. I hope, you know, you enjoy the channel. There's so many wonderful channels out there of people far, far better at teaching than I am. I'm just trying to just share what I enjoy, you know, and things that I've kind of played around with and that's worked for me. And also, guys, if I see a video and use a variation of an idea, I usually always mention it. I want to give credit where credit is due. But I haven't seen this project anymore. I'm sure there's tons of variations of this type of project. And I've made something similar before. So, but if I had seen this project somewhere else, whoops. How'd that happen? Here I'm talking and I'm gluing. See what happened? Now it's sticky and it has to, I want it to be right so it lines up right. Okay. It lines up correctly, I should say. But if you have a little bit off, you know, that's what ink is for. I've got a faded denim distress ink that I'm going to use on this that goes quite well, along with probably some of the antique ones like the vintage photo maybe. And I don't know what I'm putting in the pockets of this. Probably more of those envelopes I made, and I may make some tags to put in the pockets. Load them down whatever you want and make, you know, this is just an idea, and then you can also, you know, make, now I got a little bit of glue here. Let me get a wet one. Size it down to, you know, this is just simple. That way we didn't have to cut the one length, and these little offcuts make perfect size pockets. But see, this isn't lined up perfectly, but that's okay, you know. I try to slide it up a little bit. All right, it's not perfect. I may trim off a little off of each because I don't want it. One's the front and one's the back, so that's okay. You know what we're gonna be doing? I'm gonna be just stressing it anyways. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my score, because I'm not great at doing scoring in, and I'm going to score where the 1-inch fold is and score where this flip will be. Okay, so this is going to flip in, you know, and we're going to flip it in, and that just makes it where you don't crack your cardstock. I really have a problem with just folding and getting cracks in my cardstock. Okay, you can use a bone folder or a stylus, and I like to use these McGill stylus. They come in different sizes. Let me show you what they come. They come in a. These are great for rounding papers and making flowers. Let me show you. While we're here, it's not that I'm trying to get off topic, but when I come up with, get to a place where there's here's a little piece of paper. I just want to show you something neat. In case some of you have never seen this. Okay, these come like this, and I'm missing a couple sizes in here. I think they're on my desk here somewhere. You can see these little round edges? I don't know. You can make the cutest little flowers and different things. You put, they're also, these are also good, I think. Well, I don't know if you can use these to quill or not. Let me find a different. Okay. Now watch, you can also use your fingers to curl a flower, and I could do different sizes of these little scallop circle punches or different size circles. Look at this. See how you can get the cutest, and the more you do this, the more you get like a little flower design. See that? And then you can put a little pearl in the middle, layer these up different sizes, and you have a cute little flower. So if you've never seen that, there's a little tip. There's a bunch of different videos with that for those. Okay, we are going to do the spine first. So we want to measure in 1 inch. So if this is going to be the cover, okay, and this is, no, yeah, okay. Actually, it'll be this way. So when you fold this in, see, so I don't want to get too complicated, but you know, you can just use all the same. All right, so this, and then this will fold in. So we will have this and then this, see? So if you were to, well, let me just do the 1 inch thing so you can get a better idea. All right, so I just want to do a 1 inch right here, and this is going to be the spine, so we're going to, since this is a double, it's a very heavy double weight, I'm going over and going over it. Okay, so let's fold this. Then you can take your bone folder to get a nice crease. Okay, so this is going to be the cover, and we're gonna fold this in half in a minute. I'll show you that. Okay, so then this is going to attach here, and it's going to be the opposite. So this will be on the inside, this will be on the outside. So we're going to do 1 inch here. And I'm going to have to secure this with a heavier duty glue than that. So we'll use our Fabri-Tac. All right, let's fold that. So, so these will be glued together here, see? So this will be the spine, okay? Now, before I glue those, we're gonna go ahead and this part will be from this to here. We want an even crease right in the middle, so it flips nice, and you can actually make it a little shorter if you want, so it doesn't get caught up on here. But okay, so that would be 11 inches. So we want 5.5 for this to be in the middle. So 5.5 right here. So I'll go over this again, guys, because I don't know if I'm making myself clear. I'm even confusing my own self. Okay, so fold that. Let's use our bone folder. See, so I have it, it's cleared. There's a little gap right there. You just don't want to, when you fold it in, have it run into the, you know, your spine. So you could always trim, you could always just trim a little bit off right here. See what I mean? Okay, so this is the front, see? Boom, boom. Then this is going to be the back. So flap. So what we're going to do is, again 5.5. So it's in the middle. I did do a video of a couple of my desk sets. Oh, here comes the lawn people. No, no, we're not gonna do that. Oh, I may have to stop the video and come back. They don't like the lawn people. All right, now we're gonna glue these two. See, okay, so this will be glued together here, and there's the start of our folder, okay? All right, so let's glue. No, guys. Here, come on in here. Come on in here. I probably should have inked this first and distressed it first, but I didn't, so we'll have to do it after. All right, so line that up. All right, I hope I'm staying in frame. I think I'm gonna have to clip this. This will all get sewn. I'll show you the other one in a minute. I did sew all the way around. Actually, I think I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of glue in here until I can get to the machine. There we go. And the thing of it is, guys, when the lawn people come, since I live in a community and they do all of the, I'm gonna shut the door and leave them out there. Sorry, guys. Lucy, no, no. We're not gonna bark. Or we are. They're here for a long time because they do all of the houses. So sometimes I'll be listening to this for hours, and no matter what I say, they'll stop barking for a second, but they start right back up. You know, I have 3 of them. They're all rescues. They're great dogs. I've been rescuing dogs for a very long time, 30 years. I'm just down to smaller dogs now. I used to rescue big dogs when we lived in Jupiter Farms. We had some property. Even though they all slept on beds and lived in the house, they had a lot of room to run and have fun. I had several Australian Shepherds, wonderful breed, but mine all had little idiosyncrasies, I should say, and little behavior issues that I had to really work with because they had all had some kind of traumatic past. So, okay, so there's the spine. Now we're going to make the pockets. Okay, so here's your start to your cute little folder. This is pretty. Folder journal doohickey thingy. I don't know what to name it, guys. It's a combination between a folder and a journal. So, all right. Now I have these. Oops, sorry about that. These are the offcuts. So I think we want to do, okay, these two right here are going to have our scrappy tablets. Okay. So we'll put a pocket in here and we'll do a pocket here, okay? And this, I have to take a little bit more. This has got, where it came off the paper pad. So let me just trim a tiny bit off of this and then we'll put a notch in it. Okay, and we'll also ink it. Oops. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so we want this one here, and then I think I want the solid here. I'll do this one, okay. Whoops, this has a little, it also has that, where it came off the tablet, the serrated, or not serrated, you know, the edge where you rip it off. All right, let's see what size we're gonna need, and then I'll, for the width, whoops, let me get my small. It's my little sewing scissors, well, making memories, this was from a little. Okay, we have, let me see, we want it a little shorter. So this is a 5.5, so let's do 5 1/4. So both of these, I'll do them both same time, 5 1/4. Sorry guys if I'm out of frame cutting, but I have to get it right under my nose so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, there's one, there's another one. Now I'm gonna do a little notch in here. You could come in and do a scallop punch. You could rip it, you know, however you like your pockets. You could do bags there. You don't have to. This is a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. And I just kind of guess the middle. That looks good. All right, now we're gonna ink, and actually, I wanna show you. Okay, there's lots of different ways if you want more of a unfinished edge, which also reminds me, I did a rounded corner on the book, on the folder, so I think I'm going to do that. I was kind of, I've lost my, here it is. Right here, all I did was do the top. and this side. So you have this little notch here, okay, but not the bottom. And then you have this little rounded edge here. So, let's do that first, and then I'm going to show you how those two ideas for distressing. Okay, I have this one. So we're going to, and this doesn't go through real heavy, but I broke this, and sometimes I don't get a good, this is my We Are Memory Keepers. It has a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, but I dropped it and I broke this part off. So sometimes I don't get the best, but I'm gonna have to do it here because this is too heavy to get through this. This is called Kadomaru, and it's from a Japanese corner rounder, and it doesn't do super heavy, but it does beautiful, perfect rounded corners every time. There's a large, a medium, and a small, and it works great on the lighter weight cardstock. But we're gonna have to, this is like 4 right here I'm going through, so. Okay, so there's that. We'll do this side over here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come in with this regular one. I don't think I got all the way through. There we go. Okay, so there's your rounded corners there. And while we're at it, we're gonna make a little notch here where my twine is going to go. It's just in the middle, okay? And here, I'll show you what I mean. So see where this just sits down in the notch. I know there's a lot of other ways to do this. You can use elastic here. You can use ribbon. There's tons of different, but I'm just using this crocheted. I got this big old thing because I was going to teach myself how to crochet, and I haven't done it yet. Well, I actually did crochet when I was quite young. My grandmother and I would sit there and crochet. She taught me, but that was a long time ago. So I don't really remember. So I thought it might come back to me, you know, when I have some time. But my hands aren't the greatest, so I sat there with the needles and stuff and worked on it, and really it bothered me. Okay, let's do some distressing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, you know what? While I'm thinking of it, let's go ahead and round the corners of our pockets. You don't have to do that, but I like the look. Just the top. And, you know, this part is optional. I like using these little scissors for distressing. Basically what I do is I just run right down here. And see, you get like a ragged edge. If you like that look, because when you ink it, it really looks neat. So it's not so perfect. There's also, this is the Tim Holtz edger, okay, which you can use. There's also, you can use different types of emery boards and files. There's also other distressing tools that are a lot of money, and you know, there's also ripping folders and such. I don't have, or ripping ripping, you know, these. They have a jagged edge, but I don't have any. So when I rip the papers, I usually just fold them and then rip them, and then I'll come back in with something like this. So we won't go all the way around. I'll do that off camera, but I wanted to show you. And then we'll ink, and I'll show you what it looks like. And basically, I don't want a lot. Got a mess here. I'm going to do it with this too, but just so it's not, actually, I like it when you just hold them together, and and then we'll ink, and you get a kind of a, you know, more of a, since I'm probably going to be putting some vintage items in here, and I just want it to look more, you know, more of a antique-y, vintage look. So let me just, since we're gonna glue these down, let me just do, actually, and sometimes if you want a little bit more, I find the scissors work a little bit better, because sometimes you can get little, see that? Like little notches in it. So that's kind of a cool look. And then when you ink, the ink kind of just goes right into the, I don't know why this camera keeps sinking down. I gotta tighten. Let me tighten. I gotta tighten my apparatus here before I do another video, because I noticed last time it was doing that too. I think it's just not tight enough. Let's use my cell phone. Nothing fancy. Whoops, I ripped it, but see, that's okay. All right, now let's do a little inking. Let me go across the bottom real quick. I've got the papers folded, and I've also, because I'm going to have to come back after I've sewn, probably later this afternoon. All right. Okay, so I wanted to, before, I have these all ready to go, okay, and I'm going to show you how I did that after. So these will be these will glue in, because I don't want the stitching down this part. I'm going to stitch all around the edges, but not here. So I'm going to show you where this can just get glued on, where you use the piece of craft cardstock at the bottom for the good base, as opposed to a piece of paper, so it's more secure. Okay, now let me get my inks. And I have a faded jeans, actually it's called. The weathered wood might be pretty as well, but I ran a piece of cardstock through this embossing folder, which I thought matched just perfect. Here's the emboss side, or the deboss side, and here's the emboss side. You could use either side, Okay, as you can see. I kind of like it just like this, so I might make a tag out of this or something. But you can see I use the faded jeans in here, which just pulls some of that pretty blue in. So we'll use that, and we will use my full size, the Distress ink, not the oxide. I feel the Distress Oxide in the vintage photos got a little bit more of a red color to it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I think it does. It just seems like it does. All right, let me go ahead and do this first. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? Son of a gun. I wanted to do this where we could Velcro it. So I think we will. So where it folds like that. So I'm just gonna take this. Okay. And we'll fold one of these in half and make a pocket at the bottom, because that's really was, I liked that look. So we will use these on the outside, guys. Let's just switch gears. Switch gears. I'm just going to take a little bit off the top where the... Okay. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and fold this in half. Okay. Let me use my bone folder. So these will go on the outside. Let me just measure this so I have the right size. So I can cut these down, cut that down. So we'll just fold it there. And then I'll round the edges again and we'll do a little notch. All right. So see, here's the idea. Boom, boom. Like that. Because we're gonna put the little scrappy tablet right here. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and round the edges. I think I'm gonna round this side too. I just like that look. Okay. There. So, whoops, I think I was out of frame. So we're going to put a notch just on the inside here. Okay, so I want to make sure they're the same. So we're going to do this. I just don't want the video to get too long. I did prepare some things ahead of time, so the glue, you know, to put on the inside. So tomorrow, when I, you know, well, later today I may, we will, and save all of these little things. Make little, you know, make cute little things out of them. You know, little tags and stuff. I don't throw anything, unless it's super tiny, away. All right, let me go ahead and okay. I just want them to be in the same place. Whoops. Yeah. And earlier I said you get the perfect corner all the time, but you gotta put it in right. Put it in your thing right. Okay. Let's do the notch. Just a little notch. There we go. Remove this. Trying to move along, but I want to make sure you guys can follow along with me. And I know I have a tendency to really skip around, which is that's not great, but it's just it's the way my brain works. Let's do a little bit of a little distressing. Okay. And if you guys would like to share, anybody that's watching that has a razor blade, I guess works. People have used razor blades for distressing. Share your distressing tool of choice with us if you wouldn't mind. That would be very helpful for some people. I don't know how much these are. I think they're $6 or $7, but they do dull. So, you know, like razor blades are super cheap, but I cut myself. I always have marks all over me, bruises and dings. Okay, so there's that one. And because this is kind of plain, we will decorate the front of these. But this paper is so pretty. I should call this a craft with me. I'm so slow. You guys can follow right along with me. And just pull your papers out, and I usually call them project shares. I know, more like a. Okay, now I think I want to do a little bit, just a little. Stenciling would be nice right about now in here. I may come back and do that later, but I do have script stamp here. Let me see, somewhere. Excuse me. Here's some. Could do a little script stamping, but also this would be nice just to even just journal on. You could use it for journaling. All right, let's do a little bit of ink on the inside. You could, this is kind of a little bit white, so you could squirt it down with some tea stain or some coffee, you know, some coffee stain. Or just, wait, that's the back. I don't need to do that. Okay, let's do this one with the blue. Then we're gonna come back with some vintage photo. And I'm probably gonna go over the whole thing. And actually, let me just move this aside. And when I come in to do the vintage photo, I just do that. All right, I did that. All right, let me put that aside. And here's my other anchor. Could squirt some water on this. Actually, I kind of wish I would have done tea stain, but the bottom, this is going to have a paper pad on it. This is the part. So I think what I want to do is just do this here, like that. This is going to get glued here. Okay, whoops. Make sure I'm in frame. And it will also be sewn. I will catch the bottom right here, guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to have a little paper pad. So we want this to be glued. Whoops. Let me just try to make sure I'm in frame. So we want to glue here so it secures here, here, and there. Okay, so I'm not going to be sewing up the sides, so I want to make sure I have a good amount. I'm just going to be sewing along the bottom because I don't want that to show on the outside. Okay. Okay, so you could clip this, put a clip here. If you have like Eileen's, this dries faster than the Eileen's tacky glue, I think. So I want a little bit more blue in here. And here. Just what's left on the ink pad. Okay, over here somewhere I have the little scrappy tablet, but I have one finished somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so what I did is I had made some of these up. And I just ripped them down. Here's one. Let me just show you. This is just an embossed cardstock that I had made my envelopes with the other day. And I just take and bring it alive with ink. Okay, then, so you can see, I'll probably make a journaling tag out of this. And what I'll do is I will either attach some of this pretty paper to the back and sew around it. Maybe tuck a little cheesecloth on the inside to peek out the side as I did last time. Put a ribbon up here or something, or just a hole, or just an eyelet, and that makes a nice journaling tag. But what I did is I just ripped some pieces, and as you can see right here, and right here, okay? And took a piece of craft cardstock, inked it, and just did a little stenciling, and that is the base of the scrappy tablet and the part that will get glued right to the book, okay, right inside here, okay? So this, I'm not going to do it now because I need to sew. This is going to get glued right down here, okay? I had taken this to the machine, okay, and attached the scrappy tablet together, and that goes right there. And this, I'm going to take my little Velcro little deals here. Whoops. Here's the bottom. Alright, and here's the top. Let's put them together so you can get them in the right spot. And I'll just put that there. I can get my finger off it. Close this. There we go. So, and then this will get glued in here. And this is going to be a tuck spot here. And we'll find some neat things to put in there. Maybe one of these, you know, or two in some of my envelopes. I've got the scrappy papers all ready to go. This is going to be attached. I did the same thing here, okay, where I just took the piece of cardstock, did a little script stamping and inking, attached it to make a nice, there's a lot of paper here, and it's all that neat vintagey looking. That's going to get glued right on there. And then we'll move on, and we're gonna finish both sides. I'm gonna, off camera, go ahead and do some more distressing and some inking with the the faded denim, see? And when I come in off the side, when you ink, start back here and bring your ink in like that. Okay, and then you'll get a more of a smooth look. And I think I'm just going to say goodbye for now, guys, and I'll be back with part 2. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.